这么大？
多少钱1 kg？
哎，你拍点video吧。
我正在拍video啊。
妈妈，你看呢？看见了。
这是瓶子鱼吗？
我咋便宜听了？哎，你看看这小鱼多漂亮！就是拿来喂这么大鱼吧。啊，你看这燕鱼多好看！这是什么东西呀？这叫上下颠倒的那个
水母。
像蘑菇对吧？就像八角。
Jellyfish。
这叫 adult moon jellyfish。长脚蟹，而且跟它那个做对。
包包啊，人家包包，嗯？
包包的腿都没人能There are sheep to grab on the Lisa. Audrey wants to walk on there.
That's a good thing.
It's really hard to catch them in this. And then I will move so that I'm not standing in anyone's way. Alright, I'm going to move around this way a little bit. So straight away one of our biggest stingrays has come in. I don't think Red's got himself organised enough yet to give her a piece of fish, but here he goes, standing in the bucket. And Sandy gets some trevally, so that's Sandy. Sandy is a smooth stingray. You want a large, dark coloured stingrays in here. Smooth stingrays. There we go, so Jamie, the diver on the left, just fed one of our broad-nosed 7-gill sharks. And you will have noticed that he fed her by hand. That was Galaxy that he fed. Now the divers are very happy to feed the 7-gill sharks by hand. 7-gill sharks aren't aggressive feeders. A little bit of confusion in there. but everyone's fine. And the turtle's ended up with a piece of food, so he'll be happy. Behind us, you might notice a white hole in the divers' buckets. That white hole is what they will use to feed the grey nurse sharks if any of them are hungry. They stick the fish on the end of that pole. And that's because grey nurses can actually extend their jaws beyond their lips up to 12 centimetres, so it can be a bit harder for them to judge what they're biting. So the divers like to have their hands just a little bit further away. But so far it's mostly been these big smooth rays feeding. Now the one who just swam over the top of Jamie is Ollie on Brett today. So he will probably hang around Brett the entire time the divers are in the water. To the point where he'll probably just start biting Brett if he thinks that the food's not coming fast enough. At the very least he'll help himself out of the bucket. Now that kind of behaviour doesn't really endear the turtles to the divers, as you can imagine. Some of our divers have had some very nasty bites from the turtles. Turtles, even though they look a bit sweet and innocent, have got very, very strong jaws, and their teeth are all fused together into a beak. Apparently a bite from that really hurts. I can't say from personal experience, but I've heard enough stories. It is a pretty good job. Now in their buckets there they've got some pilchard, some old-fish, so small pilchard and whiting, and some squid, and also some half trevally. So we buy trevally from the market, chop them in half, and that's what the sharks and the stingrays are fed. So all the food comes from the market. It's brought from the Footscray market. We don't breed food. We do, on my left, or right, it is one of our big smooth stingrays. Just had some fish from Jamie. Now smooth stingrays are the biggest stingrays in the world. None of the stingrays in here are quite fully grown. They can get up to about 4 metres in length and more than 2 metres wingspan. Now for those of you who know about manta rays, you may well know that mantas get bigger than that. Manta rays can get about as big as that big white turtle on the ceiling up there. But manta rays aren't stingrays. They don't have a sting on their tail. So as far as true stingrays go, these are as big as they get. Now they are very fond of the divers during feeding time, these smooth rays. Jamie's going to give us a good view of how that one eats. They use a pretty strong sucking motion. Often stingrays will hunt in the sand at the bottom of the sea, and they'll just suck up crabs and shellfish, other types of shellfish, straight into their mouth. Now stingrays don't have sharp teeth. They've just got flat crushing plates. They're just flat teeth or plates of bone that they use to crush up their food rather than chewing it or rather than tearing it. A little bit like a nutcracker or something like that. Now, down on the ground, around the divers' feet, those of you who are up the front will certainly be able to see them, and some of you standing at the back might be able to. There are some banjo sharks, also called fiddler rays. They are actually rays rather than sharks, but they're not stingrays. They don't have a sting on the end of their tails. Some people call them banjo sharks because the back half